All right, so you ready to dive deep into Lua?
Let's do it.
We did our homework, prepped up on this one. Turns out Lua is way more interesting than we even thought.
Yeah, it's got this reputation for being like a beginner language or just for scripting, but
But that's not the whole story,
it's
right?
not even close. Lua, it's like deceptively powerful.
So, like, where do we even start with this? I mean, what's the deal with Lua?
Okay, well, first off, Lua is dynamically typed, which basically means you don't have to tell it what kind of data you're working with.
Like, you don't have to say, this is a number or this is a word.
Exactly. Lua just figures it out. It's all about keeping things flexible.
Okay, I can see how that'd be helpful. So, like, what kind of data can we actually use in Lua?
Well, you've got your basic types, like nil, which is basically nothing, booleans for true or false, numbers and strings for text.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, the usual suspects. But the real star of the show, the thing that makes Lua really shine, is the table.
Okay, tables. Tables, tables, tables. We hear about tables all the time with Lua. What's the big deal with these tables?
Think of it like this. A table is a container that can hold basically anything you want. Numbers, strings, even other tables.
Wait, so you can have tables inside of
Oh,
tables?
yeah. Tables all the way down. And the coolest part is they can act like different things depending on how you use them. So they can be like arrays, lists of things.
Okay, I got you.
Or they can act like dictionaries, which are kind of like lookup tables where you have keys and values.
Right, right.
And get this, you can even use tables to build your own object-oriented systems.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Object-oriented in Lua.
Yep, tables are that flexible. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay. So we've got these tables, they're super versatile, but how do we actually make Lua do things? Where's the logic, the action?
That's where control structures and functions come in.
All right, hit me with it.
Lua's got all the classics, if-else statements for making decisions, for loops for, well, looping through stuff, while loops for repeating code as long as something is true, and even repeat until loops, which are kind of like backwards while loops.
So if you've ever touched any other programming language, this is all pretty familiar stuff, right?
Exactly. You'll feel right at home. But where Lua gets really interesting is when we start talking about some of the more advanced stuff.
Okay, now we're talking. Bring on the advanced Lua Ninja skills.
All right, you asked for it. Let's talk about metables.
Metables. I heard whispers of these metables. What are they all about?
Remember how we said tables are super flexible? Well, metables let you change how they behave at a fundamental level.
Wait, so I can actually like rewrite the rules for how tables work?
In a way, yes. You can define what happens when you try to add two tables together, or how they get accessed, or even how they get printed out.
That sounds incredibly powerful. What would I actually use that for, though?
Imagine you're building a game, right? And you need to, like, calculate the physics of objects moving around. You could use metables to make your tables act like vectors, which are these mathematical things used for representing positions and directions.
Okay, I'm following.
So instead of having to write out all these complex calculations every time, you can just add or subtract your tables like they were vectors.
Makes it way cleaner and easier to work with.
Exactly. Or you could, create a system where adding two-player objects together combines their inventory. Or maybe you want to make sure certain tables can't be modified. Metables give you that control.
That's pretty wild. Okay, what else is there? Anything else that Lua can do that would blow my mind?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got to talk about core routines.
Coroutines. Another one I've heard thrown around but never really understood. Break it down for me.
All right, so picture this. You're writing a program, and you've got all these different tasks it needs to do. Maybe it's a game, and you need to handle player input, update the game world, place sound effects, all that stuff.
Sounds like a lot to juggle.
It can be. Now imagine you could break down each of those tasks into its own little mini program, and then have them all running at the same time, but taking turns, so they don't step on each other's toes. That's what coroutines let you do.
So it's like multitasking, but inside my code.
You got it. And it can make your code way more organized and efficient, especially when you're dealing with things that take time, like, say, loading files or waiting for user input.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that would be super helpful.
And the cool thing is, coroutines can pause and resume their execution whenever they need to, so it's like they're cooperating with each other to get the job done.
That's a game changer for sure. It's like having a team working together instead of one person trying to do everything at once.
Precisely. And we haven't even talked about Lua's error handling mechanisms, which let you gracefully deal with errors without crashing your whole program, or its module system, which lets you break your code into reusable chunks.
So Lua is this deceptively simple language that can do all this crazy powerful stuff. It's kind of blowing my mind right now.
And that's the beauty of it. It's easy to pick up, but has this incredible depth to it.
So we covered a lot of ground here. Any parting words of wisdom for our listeners who are now itching to dive into Lua?
Yeah, don't underestimate Lua. It's a fantastic tool for bringing your ideas to life. Whether it's games or automating tasks or building complex systems, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
So what are you waiting for? Go out there, explore Lua, and see what amazing things you can create.
Have fun with it.
That's it for this deep dive. See you next time.